All right, so today we'll be doing the 3-week update. I posted a video a couple weeks ago, and I just want to show you what everything's looking like 3 weeks later. So before, this is kind of what the grass seed looked like, the kind of the area I had to clean up in the backyard. You can see about how much seed was laid down. It was a mess. And then here's the after. Look how beautiful that is. It's looking great. It's green everywhere, especially along the concrete there. It was a mess there. There was patches everywhere. It's all filled in. It's looking beautiful. Gorgeous. Even you can see we're in the fall time. The leaves are starting to fall, but it's really coming good. And here's the other area of my lawn in the front yard that I redid. It was really patchy everywhere. This was after I had laid down the topsoil. You can see the results. Came in nice and thick. I overseeded my Kentucky bluegrass with perennial ryegrass. I used blackout, and it came in really nicely. I'm just going to continue to cut it until it stops growing, and it's going to help thicken it up quite a bit. It's not perfect, but it was way better than last year. And I'll just show you my steps. So the first thing that we did was we mowed really low, and then we dethatched the area with the dethatcher, and we really got up all that dead grass, and I cut it really low, dethatched all the different areas. And then after I dethatched, I cleaned it up with a regular grass rake, you can see here. And you can pick it up with your lawnmower if you have some pretty good suction. The lawnmower that I have does not have very good suction power in my opinion, so I have to go over it multiple times. So I just rather just rake it up by hand. And then from there, once I have it in all these different piles, I have this hand rake and I put it in my compost and I just pick it up by hand. It looks like it takes a while to do, but after doing it a few times, it hardly took me any time at all. So I had these hand rakes, and once you get a hang of it, if you get it into a nice pile, you could probably pick all of the one pile up with one stroke. Here you saw I did it with two, but once you get the technique down, you can clump stuff together and just pick it all up. And then after I had all the grass clippings picked up and all the dethatch picked up, I laid down some topsoil. You see here, what I did was I grabbed a few bags from my local hardware store. And then after I got it on the ground and spread out, I used a garden rake and I spreaded it everywhere. Got it nice and even, got it level. And I just made sure it all was smooth and looked really well. And here's another angle. Probably you can see it a little bit better how I did a really good job of leveling it, making sure there was soil all over the area that needed to be in contact with seed. And then what I used was Blackout by Lawn Care Life. It's a hat trick, and Fireball. It's a perennial ryegrass. It's supposed to be the darkest ryegrass in the world. And I spread the seed all over the area that I wanted to overseed here. I did a low rate at first, and I went over it multiple times until I had some pretty even coverage. And then I used my garden weasel to really get that good soil to seed contact. And I did that the whole area here. Make sure you wear some good gloves. And then I used Scott's Turf Builder for the starter seed. So it has tenacity to prevent weeds. It has fertilizer to help the grass grow. And then it also has some fertilizer to help develop some deep rooting with that. And then after all that, I went ahead and watered everything in, and I watered it every day for a full week. And from there, this is what it looked like before. And this was after I laid down the topsoil, but you can see how bare everything was. And then from there, this is the after. It's starting to grow in. It's not even very thick yet. So what I'm going to do is continue to cut it every 2 to 3 days. So it kind of helps spread laterally. And then also you can see that before I had the front yard, and here's the backyard, and you can really see how much better it looked from the beginning. I don't know if it's coming through on camera as well as it looks in person, but all the bare spots are filled in. The grass is nice and thick, dark, and lush. That perennial ryegrass blended really well with my Kentucky bluegrass. I can't even notice the difference. But one thing I do want to say is just thank you for watching. All right, bye.